The world begins in shades of silver and soft gray. Here, where the land stretches wide under a vast and silent sky, a river carves its patient path through the earth. This is a place of ancient rhythms, governed not by the clock, but by the sun and the seasons. The air itself is crisp, carrying the scent of damp earth and wild sage. Along the riverbank where the willow trees dip their slender branches into the current, a remarkable sight unfolds. Silhouetted against the slowly brightening eastern horizon are figures of immense grace and power. They are Mustangs, the wild spirits of this open country. Dun, roan, chestnut, and deep bay blend seamlessly with the muted tones of the landscape. They stand in quiet contemplation, their powerful muscles relaxed but ready. A fine mist rises from the river's surface, swirling around their sturdy legs, making them appear almost ethereal, as if they have emerged from the very fabric of a dream. These are not simply animals. They are the living embodiment of freedom. Each horse is a masterpiece of natural design, built for survival in this demanding world. They have gathered here, drawn by the life-giving water, a daily pilgrimage that reaffirms their connection to this land. Their presence transforms the scenery from merely beautiful to something truly magical, a living diorama of the wild heart of the continent. The light begins to change, a slow and magnificent transformation. This gentle illumination catches the fine hairs on the Mustang's coats, creating soft halos around their powerful forms. The world is holding its breath, poised on the cusp of the day. Suddenly, there is a palpable shift in the herd's energy. It begins with the stallion. He has been standing still, a statue of vigilance. But now a tremor of anticipation seems to run through his powerful frame. He raises his head and arches his magnificent neck. He releases a powerful, clear call that echoes across the river valley. It is not a call of warning, an invitation, a challenge, a summons. It is the call to run. The response is immediate and electric. Heads snap up across the herd. The young horses cease their playing, bodies tense with excitement. A collective energy surges through the group. The stallion takes the first step, then a second, breaking into a powerful rhythmic trot. His hooves strike the ground with a purpose that is impossible to misinterpret. One by one, then in small groups, the others fall in behind him. The trot quickens, transitioning into a canter. The initial deliberate steps now become a flowing, rocking gait. The rhythm builds, a crescendo of movement and sound. No longer walking, no longer just trotting, they are beginning to fly. Their bodies stretch and gather, muscles coiling and uncoiling in breathtaking athleticism. They move together, a living river of muscle and mane, flowing across the landscape. The sun climbs higher, illuminating their path. They are not merely in the landscape, they are the landscape, its most dynamic and vital component. For these 10 minutes, the world belongs to them. It is a fleeting yet eternal moment where the raw power of nature is on full, magnificent display. This is the wild, undiluted, and utterly awe-inspiring. As they run, the intricate social dynamics of the herd become beautifully apparent. The sound is overwhelming, a thundering percussion that is felt as much as it is heard. Hundreds of hooves strike the earth in a driving, syncopated rhythm, a powerful drumbeat that reverberates through the ground and into the very core of your being. The lead stallion, while at the front, does not run alone. Flanking him are his most trusted lieutenants, other mature stallions. Mares who help guide the direction of the charge. They form a protective vanguard whose experience and strength create a safe passage for the others. Further back, in the center of the surging mass are the most vulnerable members, the mares with their young foals. They are completely encircled by the strength of the herd, a living fortress of muscle and bone. This formation isn't planned in the moment. It's an instinct, a collective wisdom passed down through the ages. Each horse knows its place and its role without being told. Older, experienced mares often run near the back, acting as a rear guard, ensuring no one is left behind and urging on those who falter. This cooperation is the key to their survival. An individual Mustang is powerful, but a herd moving as one is an undeniable force of nature. A subtle flick of an ear from the lead stallion can signal a slight change in direction. A ripple of movement cascades through the group in an instant. A nicker from a mare to her foal, a constant check-in, a thread of connection amid the gallop. They are a superorganism, individuals functioning with unified purpose. This unity is their greatest strength, a bond forged not just of kinship, but of mutual reliance and a shared destiny on these open plains. The herd is more than a group of horses. It is a family, a community, a nation. The furious gallop cannot last forever. As the initial surge of energy begins to subside, the lead stallion gradually slows the pace. The thundering drumbeat of hooves softens, easing into a canter, then a brisk trot, and finally, a walk. The herd comes to a stop in a wide, grassy meadow, their sides heaving and their coats gleaming with a light sweat. A collective sigh seems to pass through them as they catch their breath. Dusk settles, turning the sun into golden shafts. The world for a moment returns to profound peace. In the aftermath, the herd reaffirms bonds in quieter ways. A mare gently nuzzles her foal, a soft breath of reassurance. Two companions rest their heads on each other's backs. Soft, contented sighs and low nickers fill the air. These quiet moments reveal deep emotional connections. They begin to graze in a new pasture rich with fresh grasses. This is the rhythm of their lives, expenditure of energy, then replenishment. Even while eating, they are never truly alone. Grazing in close proximity, senses creating a 360-degree awareness. The stallion takes a few bites but keeps his head up, scanning the horizon. This calm is as essential as the run. It is a time for recovery, for reinforcing social bonds, for the peaceful act of being together. It highlights their duality, incredible explosive power and equal gentleness and quiet affection. They are complex social beings with relationships and moments of tenderness. This balance makes them utterly captivating and perfectly adapted to their world. Within the relative calm of the grazing herd, the boundless energy of the young cannot be contained for long. While the older horses are content to graze peacefully, the foals and yearlings, their energy renewed, soon begin to stir with playful impulses. A young colt, his legs still a bit long for his body, might initiate a game by nipping at the tail of his friend. This quickly escalates into a mock battle, a delightful and clumsy dance of rearing, bucking, and chasing. Their movements, though lacking the polished grace of the adults, are full of uninhibited joy that is infectious to watch. These games are far more than simple fun. They are a vital part of their education. Through this play, the young horses learn the complex language of the herd. They test their own strength and agility, learning the limits of their bodies. They practice movements for survival, quick turns to evade a predator, powerful kicks of self-defense, stamina for a long run. The older horses watch with patient tolerance, occasionally intervening with a firm but gentle nudge. A young filly, perhaps bolder than the rest, might trot up to the lead stallion. The great stallion, immense and intimidating, will often display remarkable gentleness with the very young. He might lower his massive head to her level, allowing her to sniff his muzzle, a quiet exchange between the herd's future and its present leader. It is a touching display of the continuity of life within the band, reinforcing the idea that the herd is, above all else, a multi-generational family. The energy of the young is a reminder of the herd's vitality and its promise for the future. Each playful buck and each carefree chase is a symbol of hope, a sign the lineage will continue. As the afternoon wears on, the sun begins its slow descent towards the western horizon, and the quality of the light changes once more. The harsh brightness of midday softens into a warm, golden glow that bathes the entire landscape in a serene, almost magical light. This is the golden hour, a time when the world seems to slow down, and the colors of the earth become richer and more saturated. The coats of the Mustangs catch this light beautifully. Brown, black, gold. They seem to radiate the warmth of the day's last light. The herd begins to drift slowly, almost subconsciously, back in the direction of the river. Their shadows stretch out long behind them, giant, distorted figures that move silently across the sagebrush. The pace is leisurely, a stark contrast to the morning's explosive run. They have run, they have played, they have grazed, and now, they seek the comfort and security of the familiar riverbank for the coming night. The stallion leads the way, his steps calm and assured, guiding his family home as the day prepares to close. They arrive at the river's edge just as the sun touches the horizon, painting the sky in fiery shades of orange, pink, and deep violet. The horses drink deeply, their reflections mingling with the vibrant colors of the sunset. It is a moment of profound tranquility and breathtaking beauty. The only sounds are the gentle lapping of the water and the soft breathing of the horses, a peaceful end to an exhilarating day. It feels like a sacred ritual, a quiet moment of thanks for the water, the land, and the day that has passed. The stallion takes up his position on a small rise. As twilight deepens, the herd settles down. Some will stand, dozing on their feet, while others will lie down in the soft grass, trusting their companions to keep watch. The stallion takes up his position on a small rise, a dark, powerful silhouette against the last vestiges of daylight. He will stand guard through the night, a sleepless protector ensuring the safety of his family. The stars begin to appear in the darkening sky, countless and brilliant in the clear, unpolluted air. The herd is at rest, a living, breathing part of the vast, silent and magnificent nocturnal landscape. Watching these Mustangs, from the quiet dawn to the thunderous run and the peaceful dusk, is to witness something truly precious. They are more than just beautiful animals. They are a living, breathing symbol of the wild spirit of this continent. Their very existence is a testament to resilience, a story of survival against the odds. Written across the vast open landscapes they call home, they represent a freedom that is becoming increasingly rare in our modern world. A freedom that is pure, untamed and essential. Not just for them, but for the health and integrity of the ecosystems they inhabit. Their lives are inextricably linked to the land. They are shaped by it, and in turn, they help to shape it. Their grazing patterns, their migrations, their very presence contribute to the complex web of life in this wilderness. To protect the Mustangs, we must therefore also protect the wild spaces they need to survive. The wide, open plains, the clean rivers, the vast expanses of sagebrush, these are not empty spaces on a map. They are vital living habitats, and they are finite. Their preservation is a responsibility we all share, for they cannot speak for themselves. When we fight to protect these wild horses and their homes, we are fighting for something larger than just one species. Let their thundering hooves be a call to action. Let their indomitable spirit inspire us to be better stewards of this planet. For as long as the Mustangs can run, there is hope. There is a wild heart still beating in the world, a powerful, enduring legacy of freedom that we must cherish, respect, and protect for all the generations to come. The future of the wild is in our hands.